सुनने वालों को सिराज ज़ैदी का बहुत बहुत प्यार भरा नमस्कार, गुड आफ्टरनून, आदाबर्स and सत श्री अकाल. Should I say all of that because that's what we are? We are the Indian community broadcasting here at the Dublin South FM, 93.9 Dublin South FM every Thursday. You and I talk about things that matters to us here in Ireland, sitting away from the motherland, so-called, and I'll tell you all about what's going on in our community, in our culture world and all that. This program, this show is Apna Radio. Apna means your own, and you would be entertained and you would be informed about things that is going on in the world. And we do have our delectable newscaster, Charmaine Colvin, who is ready to take on the airspace. So Charmaine, you take it away and I will be back as soon as you quit. So, well, as soon as you stop, I'll be back. And so don't go anywhere and listen to Charmaine Colvin, News India this week.
Good afternoon, I'm Charmaine Colvin and you are listening to Apna Radio 93.9 Dublin South FM. On India this week, heavy rainfall in India's financial capital, Mumbai, has disrupted the lives of millions of people, submerging roads and leading to flight and train cancellations. Many parts of the city remain inundated in waist-deep water, with videos showing residents swimming through waterlogged roads as garbage gushed out from clogged sewers. Authorities rescued around 600 people earlier this week who were stuck on an overcrowded monorail system that stopped mid-journey. At least 23 of them had to be treated for suffocation. Civic authorities have said most schools and colleges remain shut. Some 350 people have been evacuated from the city's low-lying areas and have been shifted to temporary shelters. India's weather department has issued a red alert for the city and its neighbouring districts, predicting very heavy rains this week, but slackening off later on. Although monsoon rains are common in Mumbai this time of the year, the region is experiencing particularly heavy rains. In just 4 days, Mumbai has seen 800 millimetres of rainfall, according to the Indian Meteorological Department, which is well above the average rain that the city gets in August. At least 21 people have died in the last 4 days in rain-related accidents in the state. Russia will continue supplying oil to India, and the country's President Vladimir Putin will meet India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi in New Delhi by the end of the year, a Russian embassy official in India said earlier this week. Russia has a very special mechanism to continue oil supplies to India. Roman Babushkin, the charge d'affaires at the Russian embassy in India, told reporters at a press briefing, adding that India's crude oil imports from Russia will remain at the same level. No dates for the Putin-Modi meeting have been finalised yet. The US is set to impose an additional 25% tariff on Indian exports on August the 28th, citing their imports of Russian oil, which expanded after Western nations sanctioned Russian supply after its invasion of Ukraine. However, the US has stopped short of imposing similar tariffs on China over its purchase of Russian oil. Last month, the European Union sanctioned Russian-backed Indian refinery Nairaya Energy, leading the refiner to cut back processing and companies to curtail their trading with them. India's government plans to ban online games played with money, a proposed bill showed on Tuesday, in what would be a heavy blow for an industry that has attracted billions of dollars of foreign investment. Citing psychological and financial harm it says can be caused by such games, the Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Bill 2025 says that no person shall offer, aid, abet, induce or otherwise indulge or engage in the offering of online money games and such services. The 13-page bill, which has not yet been made public, describes an online game as one played by a user by depositing money in expectation of winning monetary and other enrichment. The Indian market for such gaming is set to be worth $3.6 billion by 2029, venture capital firm Lumakai says. Endorsements by top Indian cricketers and other marketing efforts have boosted appeal and investor interest of real money gaming apps, such as the popular fantasy cricket games operated by startup Stream 11 and Mobile Premier League. Dream 11 commands a valuation of $8 billion, while Mobile Premier League is valued at $2.5 billion. The bill states that anyone who offers such money games could face a jail term of up to 3 years and a fine. Such games often use manipulative design features, addictive algorithms, while promoting compulsive behaviour, leading to financial rule, the bill said. India and China should view each other as partners rather than adversaries or threats, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said on Monday as he arrived for a 2-day visit to Delhi. Wang met with Indian Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar, only the second such meeting between the two sides since 2020, when deadly clashes in the Galwan Valley and Ladakh, a disputed Himalayan border region, led to a complete breakdown of ties between the countries. Relations are now on a positive trend towards cooperation, Wang said. Jaishankar said that India and China were seeking to move ahead from a difficult period in our ties. The two counterparts held discussions on a range of bilateral issues, from trade to pilgrimages and river data sharing. Wang also met India's National Security Advisor for ongoing discussions about resolving the boundary dispute between the two countries. India and China agreed on patrolling arrangements to de-escalate tensions along the disputed Himalayan border last October. Since then, the two sides have taken a range of steps to normalise relations, including China allowing Indian pilgrims to visit key places in the Tibet Autonomous Region this year. India has also restarted visa services to Chinese tourists and agreed to resume talks to open border trade through designated passes. There are also reports that direct flights between the two countries will resume this year. Wang's meetings are expected to lay the groundwork for Modi's first visit to China in 7 years later this month to attend the summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, a regional security bloc. Reports suggest Modi might also hold bilateral talks with China's President Xi Jinping, but neither side has confirmed this. The rapprochement between the countries comes in the backdrop of India's worsening bilateral relationship with the US. And finally, the humble coconut oil has turned into a luxury on rising demand and shrinking output. Prices of coconut oil are surging in Asia, where top consumer India leads the charge with a tripling in 2 years, as supply shortages and booming demand for the nutrient-rich water enclosed within turn the kitchen staple into a premium product. The price surge that began in the second half of 2024 was accelerated by output disruptions across major producer nations, from India to Southeast Asia, caused by seasons of lower rainfall, extended heat, and more ravages by pests and disease. So that's all on India this week. You have been listening to Apna Radio 93.9, Dublin South FM.
Thank you very much indeed, Charmaine, for a lovely item by bilateral, trilateral relationship that's going on between China and India. And of course, the Russian oil, the infamous Russian oil, which has been talked about it in the media, in the press, that how can we starve Russia for not fueling the war with China, with Ukraine, and cut off the revenue that has been generated by the Russians. So I'm not an enemy of Putin or anything like that. I just state the fact that it is awful the way the war between Ukraine and Russia is on and on and on. Yes, there is a going on, the relationship, the meetings are going on, so-called the fancy meeting of led by Donald Trump in Alaska, and European leaders now backing Zelensky, Vladimir Zelensky, to meet, Donald Trump now because of the fiasco of the last time that he insulted, stupid president. How can you say that to a Zelensky? Just because the man is down so you can kick him? That's the kind of mentality? That is absolutely despicable, the way he behaved with Zelensky last time. So this time, Ukraine has actually up their game, and they are not going to talk to Donald Trump alone, and they're going to talk about with the European Union. Why? Because Europe's financial structure is being at stake. Europe's money is being doled out in this war with Russia, costing us here in Europe 350 billion in the next 5 years if this war does not stop. And of course, Zelensky is taking his chances by threatening or creating a fear that, if he is not stopped, Mr. Putin is not stopped, then he will go beyond, next could be Poland, it could be Czechoslovakia, could be, and indeed Europe will be affected. No, of course not. He will not dare to go beyond Crimea, beyond, his neighboring Ukraine. That's where he shared the border with. He would not dare to, because that's where the NATO comes in. So therefore, I hope our great-grandchildren, whatever, is safe in Ireland, because we do have a fear of war in the world. World is therefore the theme of this year's film festival that I've created is called Make Films Not War. And I'll tell you all about it after the Sharad's clip, because Sharad has put together another wonderful news item about what's going on in the Indian world of voting and all that. So this is another interesting clip that Sharad has put together. And we are concerned about the democracy in India. Of course we are concerned. And that is something that is going on in the world. We do try our best to give you the best of the week's news and the comments and the situation that has been going on in India. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this particular talk by Sharad Awasthi, who's a London correspondent based of Apna Radio, talking about what's going on in India.
Topic once again. Why? Because India is on fire. You hold a passport, Aadhaar card, ration card, electricity bill, PAN card, even a home. Yet, legally speaking, none of these prove your citizenship. Surprised? Yes, and it is deeply troubling also. Recently, the government of India has declared, rather reiterated, that Aadhaar is just identity, not citizenship. So the PAN, Aadhaar card, or even voter ID may grant access to a particular service, but they have no weightage to legally prove that you are an Indian citizen. But we really do not know what document will actually prove that he or she, you and me, is an Indian citizen. Here is the paradox. Millions carry proof, but they might not be good enough, because the system has now decided otherwise. So what's going on in India as far as the democracy is concerned? Bihar's special intensive revision exercise, this is to review the voter list of Bihar. About 65 lakh names, 6.5 million names have been deleted from the Bihar's electoral rolls. It may sound a good exercise of cleaning up, but then if you check the statistics, how many new names have been added? That is puzzling. When the political parties, by their own right, had asked for the names of those 65 lakh voters who are deleted, about 14% to 16% of the total electoral count in Bihar election, upcoming elections of November, the Election Commission was reluctant and even refused to give the voter list and the reason why they were deleted. So the Election Commission was taken to the Supreme Court and transparency was demanded. Finally, the Election Commission had to give away the 65 lakh names and also the reasons why they were deleted. As we understand that a large section of these voters were marked as not recommended by the block level officers, the people responsible to update the voter list and who have the authority to say whether the voter was allowed in the list or not. Now, when the journalists and the politicians asked for scrutiny, it felt initially arbitrary and the work of traditional opposition to oppose anything. But then when thousands of voters who were marked dead were very much alive, or when thousands of voters who were dead were found to be in the voter list. That's where the suspicion grew. At that point in time, it could have been taken as a mismanagement of the affairs of the Election Commission. But then, when the investigating journalists were charged falsely with FIRs, that's where the suspicion also further grew. Meanwhile, as we spoke in the last discussion, the leader of opposition had pointed out a discrepancy of 16 to 17% votes in just one assembly segment of Karnataka. And to that, the Election Commission has given no accountability, no credible reason, but have been insisting on the statement of leader of opposition as an affidavit, as a statement under oath. Now the argument is that why should the leader of opposition, as good as a shadow prime minister of India, make a statement under oath for the data which belongs to Election Commission? So somewhere Election Commission is playing in favor, in collusion of the ruling party, and is stonewalling the faults, the flaws that have been now caught in these two exercises. Further interestingly, we also know that the leader of opposition had done the exercise of Mahadevpura assembly segment for 6 months, involving 40 people to physically go through the paper voter list. Ideally, the Election Commission should have given an electronic copy of the voter list, machine readable, so that the analysis could have been done. But then they were not supplied. Again, a case of stonewalling and being reluctant to the opposition. So it took 6 months for the leader of opposition to come up with this analysis of just one assembly segment. While in rebuttal, the spokesperson of BJP just in 6 days came up with an analysis of at least 5 parliamentary constituencies, which is amounting to roughly 10 to 15 assembly constituencies in just 6 days. So what this means is either the BJP spokesperson is talking about the voter list discrepancies as a false case, or has been provided a machine readable voter list by the Election Commission. So somewhere one can smell, one can be suspicious about the role of Election Commission in the case of voter list fraud, allegedly fraud, both in Bihar as well as in Mahadevpura assembly constituencies. The discrepancy in the voter list had been pointed out in the Maharashtra election, earlier in the Delhi election by the Aam Aadmi Party. And why is it so consequential? Because in Delhi election, as an example, there were 25 seats which were won and lost by a margin of less than 2,000 votes. And altogether, if you see, the ruling party, the Aam Aadmi Party, had lost election, or rather majority, by less than 28,000 votes. If the allegations of voter list fraud in Delhi elections is to be considered of nearly 15%, then the Aam Aadmi Party would have won 50 out of 67 seats. Now, this is all speculation until we do not get the voter list that can be machine readable, so that the necessary investigation and the analysis can be made. So this isn't about political theater. This isn't about Rahul Gandhi versus Narendra Modi. This isn't Congress versus Aam Aadmi Party versus BJP. It is about India. We are talking about this because democracy is not just about right to vote. It's about the trust that your vote counts. It's the trust that my vote counts. But today, the allegations of vote chori, vote theft, are shaking the very foundation of Indian Republic. This is not a political fight. It is your job. It is your future. It is about your retirement savings. It's about the opportunity of the future generation of India. And all this put together is about the credibility of the Indian democracy. If the government is not chosen by the people, but by the manipulation of voter list, then tell me who really runs India. And think beyond Indian borders for the moment. Why should a foreign company invest in India if it believes the government itself is not legitimate? Make in India, which employs millions, now stands on a fragile pillar of international trust. And if this pillar cracks, jobs will start to vanish. And what happens to India's moral voice in the world? Tell me. How can our embassies and our ambassadors stand on the podium of United Nations and demand democracy in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, in Myanmar, our neighbors? The moral high ground, the moral voice is weakening. How can we now lecture China to uphold the human rights? Therefore, the democracy of India, by any method, is a political issue. It is a bipartisan issue. It does not matter what political opinion you have, what ideology you are following. For now, India is important. The very idea of India is important. And why is the Election Commission a silent spectator? For 75 years, Election Commission had been accountable for its action for having a credible Indian election. World's largest democracy is created by the very institution of Election Commission. But today, that pride is accused of being compromised. Today, the very role of election commissioners is seen as a collusion with the ruling BJP. And the worst case is in 2023, after 75 years, like I said, this parliament had passed a law which gives complete legal immunity to the election commissioners. While all these 75 years, the election commissioners were accountable. So why suddenly this protection, this shield is being created? Unless something sinister is being planned. So if you look at the bigger picture, the pattern is repeating itself. Delhi, Karnataka, Bihar, Maharashtra, and the fingers naturally are pointing towards a friendship, a bond, a collusion, a suspicion between the ruling party and the election commission. And this is not just paranoia. This is not sour loser. Look at the neighbors. Let's learn from the history, from the geopolitical history of our neighbors. The very fact that when election commissions have become puppets to the ruling party, as in case of Pakistan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, the country has slid into anarchy, has slid into poverty. And as Indians, we do not want that. India does not want to follow the path of failing democracy. And that is why this frustration, this anger, this suspicion is arising not with few, with billion voters of this country. And therefore it must be addressed right away. If the cricket matches are fixed, would anybody still watch the World Cup? That's exactly what is happening to our elections. The Election Commission must come out clean. India has survived famines, partitions, wars, global crisis. But then all through there has been complete faith in democracy. Therefore, the way forward is to create transparency. All political parties, whether ruling or not, have to come together in order to create accountability. And more importantly, we need to audit the 2024 elections. There are calls from the opposition parties to nullify the 2024 elections. That is such a shame for the world's largest democracy. There are calls for the Prime Minister to resign on grounds of electoral fraud. Allegedly, this is a shame. The journalists who are investigating into the Bihar voter list review, they are being slapped with cases, legal cases. That's a shame. So there has to be a political unity, bipartisan unity, in order to fix the problem of voter list. Because if votes are stolen, our future is stolen. With those thoughts and concerns and frustration, I leave you until next week. Stay safe, stay informed, and dutifully ask questions. Bye for now.
Dublin South FM. You wouldn't buy a car without knowing its history. So why would you buy a story without knowing who's telling it? Come here and I tell you. It's not always easy to verify what you see, read, or hear. But now there's help. Visit www.bemediasmart.ie. Stop, think, check. Be Media Smart. Brought to you by Media Literacy Ireland, supported by RTE.
93.9 Dublin South FM.
Welcome back to the programme. Indeed, this is Dublin South FM. This is Dublin South FM. Indeed. Why am I saying all that? Because what actually Sharad has said is a reason for concern about when the heart of democracy, which is the Election Commission, has been coming under the scrutiny. And you have seen recently how Rahul Gandhi has dug up and 6 months of work about digging up the electoral list has been deleted and all that meandering going. See, if you are in power, you can go to any length to do these sort of things and remain in power. Now, remain in power is not a good thing because that creates a dictatorship, that creates a democracy in the bin, that throws the democracy in the bin because these kind of things, and of course, the heart of thing is honest and upright election. If that is the question, then you must be, seriously concerned about what's going on in the future from there. So it remains to be seen in November election what happens, and the EVM, the electronic voting machine, which has been fraudulently adjusted and all that in order to gain a vote for the certain parties. That is all going on there, and thank you very much, Sharad, for digging up and doing a proper research on this particular matter. What we do talk about it on Apna Radio is authentic, real, whether you are blindfolded, BJP bhakt or completely, whatever your political scenario is, you must open your eyes and you must act accordingly. Anyway, what I've been talking about that because is yesterday, in fact, what I'm saying that yesterday we had a press launch and the media launch of the program that is going to be run next month on the 5th and 6th and 7th of September, 3 days of the 16th Indian Film Festival of Ireland. Films are so important. And they're not they're not restricted to the boundaries of India. They go around the world. They actually should go and should be exposed to the international community. And because it's a territory, it's a market, and if the film is released abroad, it generates the income for the producer and for the filmmakers. So internationally, Indian films are very important, and therefore my effort is to make our film industry really known to the different countries. Yes, beyond Ireland, I'm talking about it. After 16 years, I realized that I have to go out and do it in other European countries where the Indian Film Festival is not happening. So therefore, I have to make relationship with the embassies and international organizations, particularly the Indian. We are blessed here in the capital of Dublin that we have so many international embassies, and all of them are prepared to listen to us and listen to anybody who approaches them. So nobody has got a monopoly of dealing with the international embassies. So therefore, this year I've created a theme. Make films, not war. And I'm engaging the Ukrainian ambassador and the Ukrainian embassy in order to come and talk to us and believe that Indian films are very important. You never know, we might create an Indian Film Festival of Ukraine and invite the film stars to Ukraine in Crimea. I love to go to Crimea. I love to go to... Crimea is still under the Russian occupation. No, I'm talking about Kyiv. I'm talking about the capital of Ukraine, to have a mini film festival and to create a peace in the country. And that is my effort this year. It's not a controversial thing. If some people think about it, they must review their thinking. It is a genuine thing, and I am genuinely concerned about the peace through cinema. Peace through cinema is a very big thing, and cinema has got a power. It has power to change mind and hearts, and that is the reason I'm showing the opening film, 𝐀𝐩𝐧𝐚 𝐀𝐩𝐧𝐚 is a beautiful film shot in my city, Lucknow, starring 𝐬𝐻 Jaffrey, who's coming over, and Vivaan Shaw, and all that. The director, Avinash Das, is hoping to attend the film festival. Also, 𝐬𝐻 Jaffrey has confirmed that he will attend the film festival. So it's going to be, all in all, very exciting film festival. I am very excited because today I am realizing the power of cinema after launching yesterday the film festival press launch and the program and the media launch. Yes, we do print, actually, booklets. We print the brochure, we print the program, and we launch in an old-fashioned way because that's where all festivals do. And therefore, I have learned from other festivals that it's important to work. And, it's not easy because proofreading, compiling, images, films, talking about the industry, talking about the films, and of course then collating with the advertisers, supporters, and all those people who really back up the film festival must be reflected in that booklet. That lasts forever because once you print, your name is printed, your advertising is printed, your logo is printed. That all of that is very much there to be stayed forever and ever and ever. So that's also stayed on the website. But once that happens, you do become the part of the film festival. So my apologies for those who do not get into the program, those who did not pay attention to the film festival, those who do not support film festival. So all of that is regrettable from my point of view. I appeal to the community of Indian community to support the film festival, to support the gala night, to support the opening of the film 𝐀𝐩𝐧𝐚. All of that is very important because why? Because this is what the most important thing is, the only show in town. And I'll make sure that it remains the only show in town because if you dare to create something else, you shall be sued by me because this is something which is very, very important to my heart and to my work. This is my work. Anyway, obviously the idea is to make more films here, the short films and things like that. So all of that will happen, and we will one day make our own feature films, short films. Talking about the short films, we have in the program a lovely, lovely three short films, in fact. One locally made, Irish Baba. And you've seen and you've heard about Irish Baba last week's program, which was Sri Vallabh Panini was in the studio. And I interviewed Sri for wonderfully making this film called Irish Baba. The two other important short films that are screening is Insusceptible and Cyber Shorts, directed and acted by 𝐀𝐩𝐧𝐚 𝐑𝐻𝐧, who is making into the film festival from Amsterdam. Yes, she lives in Amsterdam. She's from Dutch background, Indian Dutch background, a rare combination, in fact. And few generations of Indians living in Holland for years and years and years. And she is one of those, and she's been to Mumbai. She's done a lot of short films. She's a delectable and a very attractive young lady who is in her own right, a very good star. And I'm giving her a front space in the festival because she deserves that. She does hard work as an actor, as a film director, as a promoter, all of that. So that is very, very important for me to give preference to that because we do have a category in the film festival called Indian Diaspora Filmmakers, those who live outside India but trying to make films. Indian background people in London, in Holland, in Paris, and we have fulfilled that category by inviting Vijay Singh from Paris, by Nandita, what's her name? Some Bengali filmmaker in London, Sangeeta Datta from London, and many other filmmakers I've invited previously from Europe. So I'm excited to receive 𝐀𝐩𝐧𝐚 𝐑𝐻𝐧 to Dublin and to honour her with the traditional trophy of the festival, and showing her 2 films. So make sure that you do watch that all. Where do you buy the ticket? You buy the ticket from www.eventbrite.ie. Now, eventbrite.ie has got a page called the 16th Indian Film Festival of Ireland. And when that page is clicked, you will be directed to which film you want to see. There are 14 films altogether, shorts, features, documentary. 3 documentaries, some shorts, some are free, some are paid. Some are a small fee like €5, €7. Yes, and you must take a membership card, which is included in the fee for €2. But membership card is available at the gate, and it's available digitally as well. So if you know me, my number or whatever, text me or whatever, I'll send you the digital card for the membership card. It is the stipulation, it is the rule and law of the censor board. So I'm hoping that this year's festival will be a wonderful festival, and you will enjoy all films selected. For the opening and closing film is the films are of Javed Jaffrey, who is a wonderful actor, who is a very powerful actor, who is a son of Jagdeep, the most famous comedian. And Javed Jaffrey will be here in person for attending the opening film and the closing film called Mo, directed by Santosh Sivan. Oh, beautiful program. I must say that I cannot praise enough my own efforts and talent for curating this beautiful festival this year. Enough talking. I like to shut up, and we'll play some songs from the film called In Galiyon Mein. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this particular song.
पतंग की डोर, पतंग की डोर, पतंग की डोर अपने हाथ तोड़ी नहीं जाती, पतंग की डोर अपने हाथ तोड़ी नहीं जाती, तेरी ओर जाती सड़क अब मुड़ी नहीं जाती, तेरी ओर जाती सड़क अब मुड़ी नहीं जाती। काज दोस्त यार नहीं रिश्तेदारी, हाँ जी नहीं रिश्तेदारी, अकेले काटूं समय अब लगता नहीं भारी, हाँ जी लगता नहीं भारी, लगता नहीं भारी समय लगता नहीं भारी, हुआ है इसक जब से हमको नींद नहीं आती, हुआ है इसक जब से हमको नींद नहीं आती, तेरी ओर जाती सड़क अब मुड़ी नहीं जाती,
तेरी ओर जाती सड़क अब मुड़ी नहीं जाती, नहीं जाती। करने के हैं बहाने चार, तुमसे बात करने के हैं बहाने चार, छू के देखो हमको भी है वैसा सा बुखार,
वैसा सा बुखार, हाँ वैसा सा बुखार,
कैसे और क्या अब कहीं नहीं जाती,
कैसे और क्या अब कहीं नहीं जाती।
फिजा में भंग है नशीला सारा मौसम होलिया में रंग है खुला फिजा में भंग है नशीला सारा मौसम है होलिया उड़ा हवा में रंग है खुला फिजा में भंग है नशीला सारा मौसम है होलिया फुल मस्ती वाला सैग है जलवा अपना ढिंचक है तैयार हम दीवानों की है टोलिया ये जो होली का सीजन है लव करने का रीजन है ये मौका ना चुको दिल वालों रे अरे सारा रा 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 रंग डालो अरे सारा रा रा अरे सारा रा रा अंग अंग रंग डालो अरे सारा रा रा अरे अरे सारा रा रा अरे सारा रा रा अंग अंग रंग डालो अरे सारा रा रा हमसे लड़ैले गोरी तिरछी नजरिया तेवर दिखाए ऐसे काहे हम ही बनेंगे बेबी तोहरे सावरिया लिखवा ले डायरी में चाहे जितना भी कर ले रिजेक्ट पर हमको ही सिलेक्ट हाँ एक दिन तू करेगी रे ये जो होली का सीजन है लव करने का रीजन है ये मौका ना चुको दिल वालों रे सारा रा रा अरे सारा रा रा अंग अंग रंग डालो अरे सारा रा रा होली में आजा दिल दिल से मिलैले कोई रहे ना दूरियां रे नीला पीला हरा गुलाबी केसरिया सब रंग बाटे खुशियां रे सब रंग मिल के ही प्यारे ये जग है बना रे सबको गले लगा ले रे ये जो होली का सीजन है लव करने का रीजन है ये मौका ना चुको दिल वालों रे अरे सारा रा 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 रंग डालो अरे सारा रा रा तन संग मन प्रेम से रंग डालो अरे सारा रा रा आज सबको कलर
Right, what a holy rung and holy song. North Indian films cannot be completed without holy songs. And because holy means it's not holy as such, we know here in Ireland. It's a name of a festival in India, which is, spells differently, but sounds like holy, is the same thing, where we throw color on each other. And it's related to a mythological tale where the Holika has been, it's not coming anywhere near right now, but it's around March, April time it happens. Holika has been burnt, and it's a return of it's a lot of, if you really want to know what is holy, just Google it and you'll know what. And films have actually adopted holy songs very well. In the old days, there has been some famous songs of Holi, and when the Holi comes, I play most of the Holi songs. Rang De Basanti, all of those things, like also has got a holy song. Sholay has got a holy song. Silsila has got a holy song. And Indian filmmakers have been using, and similarly, Avinash Das has selected a holy song because it's been played very well. Funny enough, it's not played that much in Calcutta for some reason. The Bengali community have their own Durga Puja, and they throw color on each other and all that. And the ladies do, they do those sort of things. But this is something which is very interesting that is happening to the world, and you would see that Holi is very concerned to be the most important, the festival of India. So that is something that is also being played very well, and these are the songs that has been played, and I will try to actually get you at least one more song before I say goodbye to you, and it would be my pleasure to see you all to watching these songs on a screen played. Yes, this is what exactly is the Indian film. It's all about. Indian film is all about how you actually place the songs in the middle of the storyline, and this is something that people do talk about it. People do say that, look, how can you woven in this particular thing and all of that. So that's an important element of that, and I hope you would be able to see that, you would be able to enjoy the songs of In Galiyon Mein. In Galiyon Mein, as I said, is a beautiful film, and film is all about unity among Hindus and Muslims, and two love stories. One girl is Muslim girl, the other boy is Hindu boy, and they meet and they cause some commotion in the area, in the neighborhood, and they live in the same lane. Galiyon means lane. And the street Romeo type of people who always try to eye girls from the different religion. And that is very common in India, in fact. It doesn't happen too much abroad, but, abroad everybody is free to do what they want to do. But this particular one is a love story between a Hindu boy and a Muslim girl. And there's so many films have been made about, the Muslim guys and Hindu girls. And people have actually intermarried, like Shah Rukh Khan, like Nasiruddin Shah, like many, 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 many film stars have married. Amir Khan, Salman Khan. Salman is not married, in fact, but Salman has been going out with Sangeeta Bishlani and a lot of Hindu girls. Amir Khan has actually been very interesting character. He's been married 3 times now. 3rd time he's giving a date. Dating a 3rd girl. She's also Hindu. Previous 2 women of his life, his wives, were Hindu. He himself is a Muslim. So it's a common thing. And, Nasir's son, Vivan Shah, has said that even if you don't marry into Hindu-Muslim, then what's the point? That is the progress in life, that people should be liberal enough to do so. Sometimes, people convert. Sometimes the girl follow the religion of her husband. And sometimes, it's absolutely acceptable by the couple just to carry on as they are. Because religion is something that you do it privately, not publicly. And yes, if you're deeply concerned about the offspring, then you don't have shadi. You don't have marriage. You don't have a wedding. Anyway, these are the deeper questions. Sometime we'll visit this particular issue, and I will be, talking about with experts in this area. But now, for the minute, the time is really ticking up, and I have covered a huge ground today. In terms of, Sharad has covered a huge ground, Charmaine has covered a huge ground in terms of what's going on in terms of the news of the week. Yes, it is badly raining. It is torrential monsoon rain season in India back home, and flights are being delayed, cancelled and all that. But thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for those who turned up yesterday for the press launch. Especially I would like to thank my the patron, 𝐬𝐲𝐚 and of course Mr. Chadda and Gurbir Singh Chadda ji and Bikram Singh ji. They all have supported the film festival this year. Every year we have a new supporters, and these people have indeed support. And of course, Dr. Hemant Kumar, who's also a supporter, and of course, Vic Bhandari. These are my solid backbone supporters of the film festival. Without them, I'm unable to do the festival. So with all these thoughts, I would leave you with a particular song, and I hope you'll enjoy this particular song. And I will be back same time, same place. Don't forget to tune me in at the same time next week. This is Siraj Zaidi, your own local broadcaster, signing off from Apna Radio at 93.9 Dublin South FM.
तेरे कहने पे ज़रदा छोड़ दिया, अरे जा जानम जा, अरे जा जानम जा, जा जानम जा, अरे जा जानम जा, जा जानम जा, जा 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 जानम जा, जा जानम जा, रे जा 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 जानम जा. पतंग की डोर, पतंग की डोर, पतंग की डोर अपने हाथ तोड़ी नहीं जाती, पतंग की डोर अपने हाथ तोड़ी नहीं जाती, तेरी ओर जाती सड़क अब मुड़ी नहीं जाती, तेरी ओर जाती सड़क अब मुड़ी नहीं जाती. काम काज दोस्त यार नहीं रिश्तेदारी, हाँ जी नहीं रिश्तेदारी, अकेले काटूं समय अब लगता नहीं भारी, हाँ जी लगता नहीं भारी, लगता नहीं भारी समय लगता नहीं भारी. हुआ है इसक जब से हमको नींद नहीं आती, हुआ है इसक जब से हमको नींद नहीं आती, तेरी ओर
जाती सड़क अब मुड़ी नहीं जाती, तेरी ओर जाती सड़क अब मुड़ी नहीं जाती, नहीं जाती। तुमसे बात करने के है बहाने चार, तुमसे बात करने के है बहाने चार, छू के देखो हमको भी है वैसा सा बुखार, वैसा सा बुखार, हाँ वैसा सा बुखार। कैसे और क्या अब कहीं नहीं जाती, कैसे और क्या अब कहीं नहीं जाती।
खिला खिला चेहरा है दिल की उम्मीद का, चार चांद लगा गया एक चांद ईद का, चार चांद लगा गया एक चांद ईद का, एक चांद ईद का, एक चांद ईद का। महजबी माहिरू खुदा माहिरू दिल नशी माहिरू रहनुमा माहिरू, महजबी माहिरू खुदा माहिरू दिल नशी माहिरू रहनुमा माहिरू। कुछ ऐसा बंधा समा नजर हुई तीर कमा, कुछ ऐसा बंधा समा नजर हुई तेर कम, मीठा सा स्वाद जगा सजी धजी दुका दुका, सजी धजी दुका दुका, सजी धजी दुका दुका। सपना तामीर हुआ हर घर उम्मीद का, सपना तामीर हुआ हर घर उम्मीद का, चार चांद